morning, all.
Morning.
Somewhere over the rainbow will be our thing, and then we'll do. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for making it here today. Little bit dreary outside, but we're going to make it a bright day after all. So, this is Andres and Karen, and we're here, and Victoria's here, and Chris Skythe is here. We are excited about that. In your program are the lyrics to Spirit-Led, Spirit-Fed, and we're going to do a rousing version of that. Please stand if you're able to. And, if you have one of these devices, please make sure that it is silenced before we get any further. Just make sure that I got that done. Did. Cool. All right. And without further ado,
Bright Matter, you may be seated. Yeah, and welcome. Thank you for coming out on this dreary, rainy day because it's sunny in here, right? We're making it a good day in our consciousness, as Paul Hasselbeck always says. And so here you are, Unity Center of Peace. I'm Reverend Victoria Loveland Cohen, and to my left is the wonderful Chris Nygren, who is going to share a really interesting talk today, experiential thing. So you've come at a really good day. All right, and I want to say hello to those of you joining us online, Facebook, YouTube. Thank you for being here. If you're new today, even if you've been here a bunch of times, say hi in the chat so that we can get a conversation going, okay? Yes? All right. So as Reverend Chris lights the divine light candle, we'll just take a moment to be with that element of fire. And now I invite you to say our opening invocation with me that is on that sheet that's in the seat back in front of you. If you're not yet familiar, that buff sheet, just take a moment and find that. And take a moment and breathe into your heart center. Really feeling that connection. And together, there is only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life. God, the good omnipotence. Just breathe that in. Breathe in that awareness of infinite good that is right here, right now, in this moment. Sometimes we can't see it, but it is here now. And we open to the revelation, to the experience of omnipresent good. And so it is.
And so it is.
Mm-hmm. And so this is our opportunity to fall even more deeply into an awareness of love's presence. So I invite you to take anything that might be on your lap and put it to the side. Make yourself open and available for spirit. Sit back. Relax the physical body with the breath. Relaxing the thinking mind. Another deep breath. Relaxing into the present moment. And allowing ourselves to become aware of the sounds around us, of the beating of our heart, of the breath moving in and out of our lungs. And as we become even more deeply aware, we realize this is all God. This is all Spirit, expressing in beautiful, unique ways through and as us, through and as each one here, through and as all of nature. It's all one. It's all God. It's all Spirit. It's all love. And that's the awareness that we can relax into as we surrender, let go of the judgment, the holding on, the ego mind. We relax into a deeper awareness and a deeper experience of love in this moment. And so I invite you to travel even deeper into that experience of love together in the silence for the next couple of minutes. How good it is to know that Spirit, love, healing light is right here in this moment. And it's simply a matter of letting go, trusting, and opening. Opening to that infinite loving power and presence. And as we do this together in sacred community, we have created an energy wave vortex of healing light. And into this healing pool, I invite you to say the names of anyone who might be in your heart, on your mind, that you would love to see having a greater experience of this love. And we will include in this moment all of the prayer requests that have been made and placed in this box, knowing that the desires of their heart for healing, for loved ones, for abundance, for wisdom, guidance, strength, peace, improved relationships, that the answer to all of these requests is right here in this moment, because God is all there is. That each of us are an expression of this one divine essence, which is love, which is light, which is wholeness and well-being, which is abundant good, which is wisdom, creativity, divine guidance, peace, divine order. All of that is here in this moment within each of these individuals, and as a collective, all of us knowing this together, help to call it forth. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. Amen. So I invite you to open your eyes gently. When you're ready, begin to stretch your body. Waking up your body, moving it around, looking around at the faces of the divine that are all around us, walking in the door. There you are. Just taking a moment and connecting. And from this place of connection, of connecting deeply into the truth of who we are going to affirm our mission, our vision and mission statements, which are on the front of the program or on that sheet as well. So just take a moment and look for that. Taking a deep breath into that awareness, our vision. We envision the divine light awakening in all. Our mission, we center in peace and love. We connect in our hearts with others. We celebrate our journey toward wholeness, and we empower others to experience their spiritual magnificence. And so it is.
Indeed. Morning, everybody. I've got a little special, little different kind of a treat for you this morning. In order to prepare for Chris's lovely talk about, well, which sort of revolves around sound. We've taken 3 different spiritual traditions, sounds, and I invite you to just sort of let it wash over you. This first one is a
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that filled me and set me free. I once was lost, and now am found, was blind, but now I see. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. River is flowing, flowing, flowing. The river is flowing back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing, flowing. The river is flowing back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. Mother Earth, carry me, your child I will always be. Mother Earth, carry me back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing, flowing. The river is flowing back to the sea. The river is flowing, flowing, flowing. The river is flowing back to the sea.
Thank you, Bright Matter. That was so perfect. Good morning. Good morning. I'm Reverend Chris Nygren, formerly Guy, and I'm very glad to be back with you today, sharing my enthusiasm for sound. This is an invitation today to experience our spirituality, not necessarily religious. We don't think of Unity and UCP as a religion or a church necessarily. But whatever you believe, and whoever you are, and wherever you worship, like I do it outside mostly, there's a soundscape of that. And I discovered, I think it's because I used to work at Michigan State for like 16 years. And Michigan State and Ohio State and some of the other Midwestern schools had students go and record the sounds of religions in their neighborhoods, outside, inside, at home, wherever they were, just to raise awareness. And because Michigan State Sister Museum is an affiliate of the Smithsonian, as is, I think, Ohio State's, it turned into a Smithsonian traveling exhibit. Somehow I heard about it. And these are 3 of the 12 posters from that exhibit. And it's a rich history. It's just a rich resource. There's a database of, 100 different sounds you can go to on Ohio State's website, and you can hear all kinds of things, from meditation sounds to singing bowls to all kinds of, formal church worship hymns. But a lot of it is just informal sounds, like what it sounds like as people are entering a sanctuary. Right? Or the sound of meditation, where there's still sounds, but they're kind of ambient sounds, right? Or nature sounds. Oh, there's so many. It's so rich. It's like a big rabbit hole you can go down if you want to. But I wanted to share this because I wanted to invite you to have an experience with me and with Karen of spirituality sounds in a different way, and maybe invite yourself to experience your own spirituality and think about your own soundtrack of spirituality. And let me give you some examples. And my neighbor, she practices yoga, she's a counselor, and she has a practice of silence every weekend for at least one day. It's almost every Saturday. She has a silent retreat at home. And she lives with people, but it's a silence. So her house, to me, her soundtrack is silence. The neighbor on the other side of me has a younger daughter, and they have rabbits and dogs and cats and stuff. And they have the sounds of kids and animals, training dogs, the sound of training dogs, the sound of playing with rabbits, the sound of maintaining a house full of, activity. My house is known by my neighbors as the one that has a drumming sound in the morning. I like to get up in the morning and greet the directions with my drum, and with a little heartbeat sound. And I try not to be too loud, but I am known for that sound. So when I moved to my land this summer, my neighbors have said, "We're going to miss the sound of your drums in the morning." Yeah, I was like, I like that that's my soundtrack. My mom, when she was alive, she always had, when it was on, she always had the news on, and she had, what was that show? It's still on, a religious show, I can't remember what it was, the 800 Club. Always on, like that was the soundtrack. She lived by herself. That was the soundtrack of her, part of her life. It was on almost all the time. Or this morning, waiting, as things are getting going here before we started, the sounds of the children upstairs. The sounds of Tana in the kitchen, setting up. I went out on the deck, and I wanted to relax before we started. And, the sound of this kind of misty water drops a little bit, and a few birds, but pretty quiet, How many of you have, or how many of you are musicians, first of all, singing or instruments? Okay, so there's a whole nother realm of sound, right? I have a friend who sounds right now are the sounds of bolero guitar, and his wife singing bolero, and his daughter learning to play the piano. And I think his son plays an instrument too. So they have a musical household. So Karen, I don't know what your soundscape is like. What's your soundscape at home?
There's a barking dog I'm trying to train. And I'm playing music a lot. Oftentimes my son will be either drumming on his body or on his drum set. The birds are really, really powerful. They wake me up every morning.
Mm-hmm.
So.
The sound of bees this time of year. I mean, there's sound all around us, but what's the spiritual sound? So these soundscapes, which I'll share on here, are an invitation to reflect on what is your sound of spirit, right? What might it sound like? So these are some inspiration pieces. What's the sound of your heart? What's the sound of your awakening? So let's start with some inspiration from the Smithsonian. Let me tell you a little bit about this exhibit. So the Sounds of Religion is organized by the Smithsonian. It's a traveling exhibition. If you're an education institution like us, right, you can get the posters for free. And there's a dozen of them. And if you're interested, we could do a show of them. What's cool is each one has a little QR code right here that you scan with your camera on your phone, and it takes you to the sound. And I'll be playing you a few of those this morning. It examines what religious sound is. And religion, in that most of these sounds, there's plenty of formal religion like churches stuff, but there's plenty of that's not the context, and it's still I would call it spirit, not such a tight definition of religion. From houses of worship and the home to public spaces, and in acts of protest. It also looks at how it can be affected by events like COVID-19. Viewers are invited to listen for sounds that have religious content, religious context, or can be heard in religious communities, and to think about how religion permeates the everyday experiences of American life. Since 2014, students and faculty in Georgia, Michigan, Missouri, Ohio, Oklahoma, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin have worked together to document the sounds of local religious life. And the poster features recordings and images collected during their work. And then, like I said, the QR code takes you to the database, which has, I don't know, maybe 100 in there. It goes on, many pages. Americans practice a lot of different religions. Christianity, like the Amazing Grace song that Karen just did, Judaism, Islam, Hinduism, like the chant that you did, which is all about bringing in the energy and merging with us here. Buddhism, Sikhism, Wicca, Native American traditions, New Age traditions, and many, many more, like the last song, earth-based practices, right? Every tradition creates its own unique blend of music, prayer, voices, and silence. What did we just do? Silence. I always thought it was interesting when I would go and listen, I still do, go and listen to our recordings, right? Like the people online are listening to our recordings. But we start off after the opening music and our invocation, there's a substantial amount of silence, isn't there? That's a sound. That's a sound of spirit. So we've got churches and synagogues and mosques and temples and other places of spiritual devotion, as well as our own living rooms. The sounds of faith make some feel they belong, yet they may cause others to feel excluded. The American Religious Sound Project suggests that listening for the sound of religions in America can help people understand the country more deeply and provide insights into religion itself. And I would just broaden that out to say spirituality itself and think of a soundscape. So let's try some of these sounds. Following your 3 examples from 3 different faith traditions, let's begin with this, and let's make sure that this is going to work, Lena. This is the Beulah Baptist Church call and response. You're the baby?
Pay the price. Calvary. Christ is all. He everything to me. Christ is all. He rules the land and sea. Christ is all. Without him nothing could be. Christ is all in all, this world to me.
Amen. Did you hear that? Amen in the background. Did you ever take a picture of something like really beautiful that had a spiritual meaning to you, and you're taking a video on your camera? You're like, doggone it, that person just made that noise. Doggone it, there's noise there's cars in the background. Doggone it, those kids are making a bunch of noise. No, that's the soundscape that we're in. Where no matter how beautiful or how meaningful or how uplifting the experience is, it's not just the visual. So for this next couple of sounds, which are sounds of religious sounds at home. I'm going to play these people. This is an example. You're going to hear kids saying the, what's it called? Shem? What's the morning and evening prayer? In Shema, that's it. Thank you. Is that Tana that said that? Oh, you said thank you very much. So let's close your eyes and listen and see if that helps you get there. You know, our eyes are kind of all of our senses, they're the ones we use the most usually. And they kind of dominate everything, right? So that's why we close our eyes at meditation, so we can kind of shut off that input that's so automatic and so important to us. So I invite you to close your eyes for this particular one. Oh, not him. All right, children reciting Shema in a Jewish home. So cute. Did that sound familiar to you?
Yes. Shema means listen, hear. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one.
Hear, O Israel, our Lord, O God, our Lord is one. Thank you for that. You know, no matter what the sounds are, I have a tendency to always want to know what's the source of the sound. You know, my mind kicks in, wants to analyze and know more. And sometimes you just have to experience the sound. And my heart knows. One time I visited the Netherlands with my daughter, and I wanted to see, I like to visit churches where I go. And I was like, oh, I love the look of that church. We got to go in, but you couldn't go in. It was Sunday, so you couldn't go in unless you were going to be there to worship for part of their Sunday service. They wouldn't let you in as a tourist. So now I really wanted to go in. I got, must be something really special. So we said, oh, okay, Kelly, my daughter Kelly is with me. What do you say? Let's go in. Let's enjoy the service. It was in Dutch. We couldn't understand a thing. But it was a Catholic service, very traditional. You kind of, if you've been to a Catholic service, or even a Presbyterian or a Methodist, they sort of have a pattern, you know. We sort of follow that pattern too. It's kind of ingrained in our beingness, like that storytelling arc and the getting into the zone, and then the talk, and closing often with a prayer that everybody knows, like the Lord's Prayer. And whether I've heard it in Dutch or French or Afrikaans, it's got a meter to it. You sort of know what part they're in a way, even without knowing exactly. We sat through and enjoyed, at least I enjoyed, the entire hour service in Dutch. Taking in the feeling of the people, their sounds, their language, the music, the lighting, the beautiful sanctuary. It was, I just loved it. I loved it. And bringing back to the sounds at home, another trip that I was on in Mombasa in Africa, and the morning sounds, well, there's two interesting sounds to share. One was in Mombasa when we woke up in our covered, mosquito-covered beds, the covering that you, like a draped over your bed. We woke up to the sound of roosters and the Islamic call to prayer. I had never heard it before. It was just beautiful, and you could hear it all over the city in different locations as the sound of people waking up into their morning call of prayer, and you could hear people. It was like the chorus of birds in the morning. It was so beautiful. It's like, oh, that's a home sound, right? Another home sound. I was in China. I woke up, my first trip there, woke up in the morning. I'm in a tall, hotel building. And it's early, like sunrise, and I hear a loudspeaker. But it was very rhythmic, And I was like, what is that? I look outside, and in the plaza in front of the hotel that I'm in, there had to be 100 people doing Qigong. Now I know it is Qigong. I didn't know what it was then. I was like, what are all these people doing? They must be awfully militaristic in this society, all waking up doing the same movement, 100 people, going like this. And I thought, oh, wow. So now I know I have a better understanding. But that's the sound of the morning. That's the sound of home. Just like my sound in the morning is drumming and hearing the birds and the animals, speak to me in the morning. So you ready for another one? Another sound? Okay, so we did the sounds in houses of worship, a sound from our own home, and now there's two here, religious sounds in public, which is this poster. And you can see they have Guadalupe, so this is a sound of a procession of a Guadalupe, and then a man doing kirtan. So here's a procession of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And I know they're not walking in silence. Let's try this one. Here's kirtan. That instrument that he's playing, whatever that is, reminds me of another trip when I was in India, and it was Ganesha's birthday. And every neighborhood had their own Ganesha shrine, that they were giving flowers to and offerings and doing prayers around. And at the end, when they were finished with their celebrations, they would bring their statues, whether they were tiny little clay statues or these giant plastic statues of Ganesha, and they'd bring them down to the lake. And in the old days, I guess they were all clay, and they would dissolve Ganesha into the lake. And I understand most of them are not clay now, so somebody has to fish them out later in the middle of the night. But the way they bring Ganesha down to the lake is they carry him, whether it's on a wagon or just 4 people carrying or 2 people. So here we are having dinner, and I hear like that sound, that bang bang, like somebody banging pot lids together, like bang 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 bang, really loud and fast, bang 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 bang, like on and on and on and on. And I look out the window, and there's 4 guys carrying a Ganesha statue down, and we saw that a couple times that night. And I was like, oh, that was cool. Yeah, I haven't heard that around here, but that would be kind of neat. All right, let's see if this procession of Guadalupe is going to work. This is interesting because this is an example of you're trying to record something and you're getting all the ambient sound, which is part of the whole soundscape experience. So close your eyes. that interesting? Does that kind of remind you of things that you've experienced like that outside? So keep your eyes closed. I'm going to bring this back home now. In our announcements today, there are several interesting things. Then I'm going to invite you to recall some sounds. And this is things our own community does right here. Coming up are love feasts. So imagine being in someone's home. You're hearing the murmur of people coming in and the joy and laughter of greetings. And then you're sitting around the table. What are those ambient sounds? The kitchen, the dishes. I'm just talking about sounds now, not the yummy fragrances. It's hard to separate those out sometimes. Think of the sounds of the knives and forks on the plate, the sounds of glasses, cheering, we're doing a toast. Sounds of conversation. Now let's move from there into the labyrinth that's here in our outdoor sacred spaces. And on Friday, there's a full moon ceremony. Imagine what that sounds like, the crackling of a fire, the wind through the pine trees, the call of the hawks that live there. I'm sure many birds this time of year. The sound of people's feet on the pine needles, the crunch of the leaves, the swatting of mosquitoes. And one last one. We've got a World Labyrinth Day. So back in the labyrinth, not a fire. It's walking, silent walking and meditation. I have pictures of myself walking that labyrinth, like where I'm focusing my camera on my feet, and it's just the sound of the dirt and the stones and the leaves and the pine needles, and it's kind of like a crunchy, soft sound. And the sound of my breath, and the sound of the breeze. And then moving to our Serenity Trail, we have an event coming up next Sunday on Buddha Day. That's a different trail. It's not the labyrinth. That's a different. There's deep, soft, almost silent ground because there's built up in some places a lot of pine needles. And that's a different location behind the building. It's protected from the wind. And imagine what that sounds like. Buddha Day, tying new pieces of fabric to Buddha's little house out there. The sound of water cleansing the Buddha statue. The sound of silence and listening as a group. The sound of prayer. So we have our own sounds, and we're going to make some right now. Ready to play along?
Sure.
As we've gone from the labyrinth and the Buddha to our own sounds. So Karen Novi is going to help us with her great talent, not only as a singer-songwriter, but also as a vocal and a music and sound, I wouldn't say therapist, but experience creator, healer.
Coach, maybe.
Coach, yeah.
Yeah. I was listening to the Guadalupe procession, and it felt so joyous, especially when the man came in with that song and they were all singing. It had an element of like a children's song, melodically. And so part of what I'm going to do is invite you to maybe go roll back time a little bit. I mean, if you believe in time. But you have this child, right? Maybe 2, maybe 3, 5, 7. Right? We are all this child inside, right? We sometimes get covered up or we protect ourselves, but there that child is, right? And that's your inner self, your truth, your being. And there are sounds, right? As Chris was mentioning, upstairs you could hear the children playing around and making sound, right? And we forget, I think, as we start adulting, how playful sound can be and how good it feels to create sound in your body with your built-in instrument, your voice, right? Utilizing your breath. And so I want to invite you to liberate yourself and to feel connected to your voice and your playfulness and your wonder and your sense of adventure and curiosity. First, we're going to take a deep breath in together, and on the exhale, I want you to maybe create a wind sound. Okay, so we're just going to kind of warm up your voice here. So let's breathe in, and then wind. Oh, that was very good. That's very good. Yeah, awesome. So we're going to do another inhale, and on the exhale, we're going to make a shush sound. Let's do that. Yeah, you're right there. You're right there with your voice. Okay. Now we're going to, let's do a couple silly motions and sounds to awaken the inner child, okay? We're going to do a little motorboat or raspberry sound, whatever feels good to you. Let's do it. We're going to, 1, 2, 3. That is amazing. Yes. Now we're going to rubberize our faces and make any kind of sound that comes out. Yeah, just loosening it up. We're playful. It's all good. We're just playing. Okay, now Chris is going to play on the speaker here a drone sound. So a drone sound is an open fourth or fifth, and it's just going to play. And I'm going to ask you to just listen for a few moments. We're going to put it up pretty loud. Just listen and let the vibration sort of find its way into your body, into your cells. All right? Feel into it. Like you want to really, all of your senses, just allow it in, allow the vibration to start moving energy in your body, right? And start speaking to you. And then, when you feel ready, I invite you to add your own personal sound. I'm not talking about singing necessarily, unless you feel called to do that. I'm just talking about creating sound in your body, maybe letting a part of your body speak. Maybe it's a note. Maybe it's a groan. Maybe it's a kek, 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 kek. Whatever it is. Just let it up and out because your voice and your body knows what to do. So let's do it. Collective sound, right, of the unity, community, the spirituality, letting your spirit and your playfulness and your voice, your self-expression be seen and heard. Let's do it. Open up, give yourself permission. Sound as wacky as you want to. Let it out, let it up. All sounds welcome. There it is. Sounds of spirit, sounds of your spirit, your inner voice. But now, how they all come together. Yes, let's have it. If you're not wanting to use your voice. Or you could Sounds of nature, beautiful.
Whoa, 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 whoa. La 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 la.
Beautiful.
And that was all streamed live with our buddies joining us live. So now we have Spirit Sounds of UCP recorded. Woohoo! Thank you all. Thank you, Karen. Yeah, appreciate it. Thank you so much. And if you wonder, well, you know, when we make sound, who hears it, right? Remember that? That's a saying, right? If a tree falls, who hears it, right? Well, Lorraine forwarded me a message that Kuan Yin, the female Buddha, the Bodhisattva, who chose not to go on to her next life, and she stays around listening to all the sounds of the world. And let's not remember that not all spiritual sounds are like happy, joyous kids, ceremony, drumming, song. A lot of them are tears, crying, lament, right? There's all kinds of spiritual sounds. But who listens to them? Ourself, our community, our families. Kuan Yin, the God of your understanding, all, not just prayers, all sounds are heard. And I kind of like to think in my meditations, as I think of our blue marble planet and what sounds are emanating from it, besides broadcast signals, I like to think that our sounds of silence, our sounds like we just shared now, the sound we just made, beamed out into the cosmos and carried with it the beautiful feeling that we created together. Because we are mostly water, and our bodies resonate with sound frequencies. That's where sound healing comes from, for example, but you know, because you feel it in your own bodies. We can make the sounds ourselves, percussion, tone, motorboat sounds. Thank you for playing with me today, and I hope that you accept the invitation to pay attention to your spiritual soundscape, home, out in public, and here at UCP. Thank you very much.
That was fun. Y'all are good playmates. I feel like we were in one giant sandbox. Checking it out. Right? Humming, singing. Kids are always making sounds, singing, humming. Playful. Okay. This is called The Power is Here Now.
The power is here now.
of you and me is here to create magic on earth. The power of love is here now. The power of now is here now. The power of you and me is here to create magic on earth. Let the water wash away your tears. Let the fire burn away your fears. The wind blow into your life, such faith and trust. Oh, let the earth hold you and take care of you and nurture you.
Thank you. I know we are experimenting with different songs that we may use as an alternate to the offering song that we've had the same offering song for a long time. We want to change it up a little bit, and so we did something last week, and then this week we're thinking of doing that for the offering song and rotating them a bit. So, yeah, do you guys like that one? Yeah, it's lovely, lovely, sacred. All right, so yes, before we get to the whole offering piece that we're doing right now, I want to take a moment and let you know from the bottom of my heart how grateful I am to so many of you who have really stepped up in response to our request that we sent out last week that we needed to have a little more funding to continue to keep this going. And a lot of you said yes. In small ways, in big ways, in medium ways, it all really helps. And I'm just so grateful to you all. Thank you. And for those who may be joining us online, thank you. Thank you, thank you. All right, so yeah, this is the sound of love. Of giving of our financial resources to a place that we believe in, an organization we want to support. That's an act of love. That's active love. So let's just pay attention to that idea and what that sounds like. It's a beautiful sound, right? So in many ways to participate in this, it's in your program. You'll see a listing of you can do it on your phone, Venmo, or text to give, or on our website. If you're online, probably several of those are coming up. If you have signed up to be a conscious sustainer, that's the green ticket here, and you would put that into the bowl. But also when you're doing that, just connect and remember, oh yeah, that's connected to some of my financial resources and my love that I am giving. So I just want you to do that. And let's say together our offering affirmation, which is on that sheet as well. So take whatever represents what you're giving in your hands, maybe put it to your heart as we say together. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, all that I receive, and all that I am. So it is.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so
feeling that gratitude moving through you. You know, that power of gratitude multiplies the blessings in our lives. And so we bless these tithes, these gifts, these offerings, again, knowing that it is love in form. It is love in motion right now, blessing this community, blessing the larger community, and returning to the giver, pressed down, multiplied, and running over. Thank you, Spirit. And so it is. And Mary's taking the prayer request box back to the foyer. And so if you'd like your request prayed over during the service and by the prayer team for the month, go ahead and fill out one of those requests. It's right next to the box, and place it in the box. All right, so we're welcoming now anyone who may be new today, who has come in for the first time today. And we acknowledge you. If you have not received a packet of information, we usually give it at the beginning when you come in, but if you didn't receive that, go ahead and raise your hand. Okay, and on the outside of that is over here? Yeah, over here? Yeah, and outside there is a purple, sort of bluish purple form, and if you fill it out on both sides and return it to Mary or myself, we have a little booklet for you that we'd like to give you. And if you're joining us for the first time today online, we are so grateful for you for being here. Again, if you say, hi, I'm here for the first time, our wonderful greeter, Mel, will share as much information as you would like to know about our community. All right, and afterwards we have wonderful refreshments, so we hope that you'll stay around so that we can get to know you and you can get to know us in a little more relaxed way, enjoying some refreshments. All right, they're having a conference over here about what they're doing next. It's okay.
Well, yeah, I was going to fess up that the
music.
Unity Community sounds that we were making was supposed to be the second special music, and then Power's Here Now was supposed to be this third one.
Oh, okay.
So I got apparently distracted by all of it. And I was like, let's do it now, and then we can leap into announcements, or we can.
Would y'all like to sing another song?
Yeah, maybe something together.
Mea culpa.
We'll have to stray off some of the Unity songs for just one here, man. I think I really don't know this. When I find myself in times of trouble, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. In my hour of darkness, she is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. Though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. When the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine on through tomorrow, let it be. Wake up to the sound of music, Mother Mary comes to me, speaking words
That was good. I love. We're flowing with it. We're going with the flow today. It's perfect. Okay, so as Reverend Chris mentioned, we have a lot of things coming up this coming weekend. It's a full weekend of all kinds of things that you can jump into, whatever floats your boat. We're starting Friday night with a full moon fire ceremony with Jeffrey Churchill, who is in the back. If you raise your hand, good to see you, Jeffrey. He's facilitating the fire circle. It starts at 7 to 8:30. It's in the Labyrinth. Suggested love donation, $10. There'll be drumming and storytelling and all kinds of good stuff just being together.
Bring a drum or a rattle if you have one.
Okay.
And join in.
Bring a drum or a rattle if you have it. Okay. Wonderful. And on Saturday at 1 o'clock, it's an opportunity to connect with thousands and thousands of other people who are walking a labyrinth wherever they are, all over the world. This is World Labyrinth Day. And everybody's doing it at 1 o'clock local time. So that the idea is that there's this wave that's moving across the globe at 1 o'clock, as this all goes around. And it's about peace. It's centering in peace, connecting with others in peace, and sending that out to the world. So we have a wonderful labyrinth here to do that in. The word is getting out to the community. It's a beautiful spiral labyrinth. So we'll be meeting here at 1 o'clock and walking. Hopefully we'll have a lot of other individuals here. And then we're going to gather on the back deck and talk about ways that we can take action in the world, locally and globally, to help create peace. All right, so hopefully you'll join us for that. And then Sunday, after the wonderful service that we have planned for you, it is the Buddha Day. It is our opportunity to, we have 3 sacred statues here. We have Buddha and Jesus and Green Tara. And this is, we're honoring Buddha because it's the birthday, the celebration. And Katja and Mark will be here to lead that service. And we're writing prayers on little ribbons, prayers for ourselves or for the world. Everybody has their own ribbon that they're writing on. And then we're going to tie it around that station that that Buddha is. So join us for that after the service. We're going to talk also today about, where'd that little thing go? The garage sale. It is coming up on May 20th, right? May 20th. And so it's a fundraiser. So if stuff has been collecting, I'm always talking about clearing out and cleaning out and releasing, right? Stuff in our closets that you haven't worn in a year, or, in your garage or whatever, stuff that collects. If it's in good shape, bring it here. What are the dates, Sue Ann, that you can bring it here?
Let's see, bring it after the service, May 7th and 14th, or anytime, Tuesday through Friday between 12 and 4 p.m.
Okay. All right, wonderful. Hopefully that's going up for you guys who are joining us online. So start gathering it, bringing it over, and we have some wonderful volunteers that are going to help to put this together and open it up for a sale. So let's envision, a really wonderful fundraiser for that. Okay. And social media, obviously, those of you who are online, if you're on Facebook or Instagram, please like us, please share. If you're watching YouTube, or we have a page that all of the talks and meditations are archived, so you can, if you missed anything, you can watch it, and then subscribe and share it with others. Get the word out. After the service today, like every Sunday, we have a wonderful service that we give that is all about affirmative prayer. It's called 3-Minute Miracle. The miracle is the shift in consciousness. You are sitting with someone who's able to see whatever's going on with you, whatever situation, see it from the highest possible perspective, and to enter into prayer so that you can see that highest perspective. And when you do, things begin to shift. That's the miracle, a 3-minute miracle. And Lorraine Lewis is our prayer partner today, and she will be, this is all happening at the last door on the left down the hall. So please go see Lorraine. And also, if you're online, you can have a prayer as well. Just go ahead and send an email and put your address, your email address, and say, I'd like prayer, and somebody will call you. Okay, and deeper dive discussion. Cheryl, you're facilitating deeper dive discussion. And are we doing it here in the sanctuary today?
We're doing the fishbowl.
During the fishbowl. So instead of meeting in the back, we'll be meeting in the front room. Gonna put some chairs together in a circle and do the deeper dive. And please join us for that. An opportunity to really take these ideas and go a little deeper. Sacred Cafe, wonderful opportunity to, relax and get to know each other. Compost cart has arrived. If you'd like to know about how you can compost all of your vegetables and, all kinds of stuff rather than throwing it down the drain, let's turn it into fabulous soil. You can bring it here. And then everything else is in your program. So we have some children back there who are waiting to come in. So let's sing them in.
I am the radiant light of God, I am, I am, I am. I am the radiant light of God, I am, I am, I am. The health of God, the strength of God, vitality, energy, beam of God. I am the radiant light of God, I am, I am, I am.
Yes. All right. Come on up.
We have special guest speakers this week who will talk about what we did today.
Okay, cool.
Today we talked about sound and music. We did some meditation and played some games, and we built a tree house out of these wood pieces. That was fun.
All right, cool.
So we tried to sort of follow the program here a little bit, talking about sound and music and things. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
Yeah,
The children.
good to have you. And thank you, Olivia, for being up there.
Yes,
And
thanks to Olivia.
And thank you, Michael, for stepping in as well. Yeah, let's bless these children and the children all over the world as we say, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you just the way you are, and we behold the Christ in you. Mwah. All right, thank you. You may join your parents, loved ones. Fabulous. And if everyone would stand, we say our prayer of protection with I am statements together and sing the peace song. Yeah, which is again on here if you're not yet familiar. All right, let's take a nice deep breath together. If you feel like holding hands, you can certainly do that. Up to you. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Yeah.
Like I saw special music and I thought it was the third one. Like I just.
I was just.
I was like, you should have been like.
We're doing the second one, so then it was just a matter of figuring out what we're gonna do.
See, this is why I can't do this alone. See, yeah. I'm so sorry. Yeah. Sorry, Andres.
If I get see if I get a phone call next week.
Well, it's totally my fault. I mean, really. Hey, darling. That was wonderful. You're more than just a singer. Creator of experience. You got a cool smile.
Thank you.
I loved your opening song. That was really awesome. That was really awesome.
That was good.
But you were a part of it.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Andres. Yes. Pleasure. Thank you.